Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Jump Up Supercast Game Club. I am the half genie himself, Brandon, and I am here to host this special episode.
Are you wearing Shantae's clothes?
What did you just say?
Are you wearing the Shantae outfit?
I am. No, I'm wearing a vest. All right.
Oh man,
male genies wear vests. All right. Haven't you seen a genie before? Anyway, I have Ills, the zombie.
The zombie, yes, of course.
And I got Saf, the mayor.
Yep. Unlike the coward Brandon, I am dressed in the mayor's clothing.
There you go.
And I have Noah, the Birdman.
Birdman.
What
Birdman? I don't even remember the Birdman in the game.
No, there's that one. Anyway, we played Shantae this week.
Good move.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Shantae is. There was a character that was the bird girl, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
The heart.
Sky?
Yes, I think that's her name, Sky. So we played Shantae, all of us, this week, and it's my choice. I picked this game. For those of you who don't know anything about the Game Club, we play video games and we come and talk about them. It's like a book club, but better. And
nice.
We played Shantae. It's a Game Boy Color game, developed by WayForward Technologies and published by Capcom. It was released in 2002, June 2nd.
Wait, what? What? Wait, when didn't the Game Boy Advance release a year ago?
It did.
Before? What?
Yes. So this game was released June 2nd, 2002 on the Game Boy Color. And you are correct. The Game Boy Advance had already been out a year at this time.
Damn.
A very late Game Boy Color release.
No kidding.
And those would explain like the Game Boy Advance capabilities that the game had.
It does, yes. It does have a little bit of a secret. We'll get to that with the Game Boy Advance. But this also explains why this game, unfortunately, it had very small sales. It didn't do great. It was critically acclaimed, but the sales were very, very bad. There wasn't a lot of copies of this game out there, so the game is very hard to find. It is sought out by a lot of people because it's not really, I wouldn't say it's a hidden gem nowadays, because I think people are aware of its existence now.
Especially with
which
all
has
the,
only driven the price up.
Especially with all the sequels.
Yeah, with all the sequels too. It's got 3 sequels, one on the DS that's also been ported to a bunch of other consoles, and then eventually a third one that's released on basically every major console, and a 4th one that was a Kickstarter game. So Shantae, nice. Weird series, this first one was published by Capcom. Going forward, every single one after was developed and published by WayForward themselves.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh. They just decided to take it on themselves to nobody else, because I guess maybe it was the failure of the first one in sales that scared off publishers. They're like, why do we want to do another one? But the fan outcry was definitely there. And they eventually did it. When the sequel came out, eventually, it was released on DSiWare. You remember, cool. Back on the day when the DS, first had a digital shop. Yeah, that's how that game was first released.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's cool that the series ended up becoming what it is now, especially after a rough start. Not because the game was bad necessarily, but just because of how bad the sales were. And
probably because they sold it exclusive. No, not exclusive. Probably because they sold it for the Game Boy Color.
Well, right. I mean, I think it's just like an example of cream rising to the top. I mean, this game is very charming, and once the people got to play it, they wanted more. So this is what happened. Mm-hmm. They got the recognition they deserved.
It's true, and it's good. I'm glad that it did. The game was directed by Matt Bozon, who's famous for all of his work at WayForward, and one thing to point out too, it's composed by Jake Kaufman, who at the time had already done a few projects, but now he's one of the biggest names in gaming music, really. Composers.
Yeah, I definitely like some of his work is really, really good. I mean, I guess most of his work, yeah.
Shovel Knight's one of the big ones that it pops into people's heads. But you can hear it here in some of his early work. Shantae has it's a pretty good soundtrack, and he's worked on all the games in the series, and they're all really good.
Sweet.
So Shantae is a platform adventure game. It's definitely a platformer, kind of a Metroidvania type game, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. You play as Shantae, the half genie, and she is on a quest to protect her town. What the hell's the name?
Scuttletown.
Scuttletown.
Yeah. So she's the protector of that town. I guess each town has like a genie that's supposed to be their protector. She's the half genie. She keeps it a secret. I guess only full genies are supposed to be the town protectors. So she doesn't. But she loves this town, and she's trying to protect it from a big pirate named Risky Boots.
Yeah.
And Risky has stolen a blueprint for a giant steam engine that her buddy Mimic, the inventor, made. And she's trying to get these different stones, I guess, that are going to power that steam engine. And they're located in all these temples around the Sequin Land. That's what the place is called, Sequin Land.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's up to Shantae to go around and collect the stones before Risky can, to prevent her from making that steam engine, because she stole the blueprints from Mimic. And it's a simple setup, but it does job. There's a lot of characters that you meet along the way, and that's one of the cool things. I really like the different characters in this game. I like the art direction. I like the character designs. I like. There's a lot to say about how this game looks. I think we'll start there.
The sprite work and animations are great.
Yeah,
very,
really good.
very good for Game Boy Color standards.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's so bright and gorgeous. Like, I couldn't I wasn't even sure that this was a Game Boy Color game when I saw it. Like, I thought at least like Game Boy
yeah,
Advance.
they definitely pushed the Game Boy Color for its limits. Like,
For sure.
they went far and beyond for what not what it was capable of, but like what the norm for that type of game is, for like what they can make for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like they really outdone themselves. That was a really good work there.
You're right. The color palette that they use is really bright, and it just looks nice. Just everything, the sprite work and the animations too, with Shantae, how she like kind of bops back and forth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like really looks great.
Yeah, they have these like really large sprites, and they're all like intricately detailed. Like you can tell there's a lot of love put in every sprite in the game, basically. Like all the enemies.
And just you even get to like third person view, like when you're walking around in the towns to go from shop to shop.
Yeah,
like
that
you
was
get
cool.
like
I love
that was
that.
really good. I really love that addition too.
Yeah.
And just something so simplistic, but like they managed to do it for the Game Boy Color. It looked. It makes you forget that you're actually playing a Game Boy Color game a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like you're playing an indie game from like 2017.
Yeah, or like a Game Boy Advance game or a DS game or something.
Yeah, it's so stylistic. Like it's really, really strong. Like the charm and all the the design of it.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is. I really, it's one of the things that just stands out. You pop this game in, and you're like, wow. It's just in the artwork too, that you get to see of the characters, from the title screen to the game over screen. I really like the artwork in this game. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know who the artist is necessarily. I don't know if Matt Bozon himself did it. I think he did, because
Was
a
it not
lot
his
of
wife
it,
that did it?
possibly a lot of it's when you look at games that he directed, it has that kind of same art style that Shantae has. It's kind of like an anime look to it.
Yeah.
It's like an Americanized anime though, but it looks really good. I love it. I love the art direction of the game. The weird thing, and he took like a risk on this game. I actually was reading up a little bit about something that he said in making the game. Is that he knew that it was gonna be hard to find a market for this game, because this was back in a time 2002. It doesn't seem like too long ago for us because we're old, but this was back in a time where a lot of games didn't have women as leading protagonists in games. And not only was it had a decent amount of time in development, so it was going to be a really late Game Boy Color launch, but it was a female protagonist in a game that might be it might have a hard time finding an audience for girls, because the main character, he said himself, it might be too sexy, but it also might be too girly at the same time. So
well, I mean, yeah, she's not like super sexualized, but
no.
Yeah, she's just like
No,
really
like their
upbeat.
design makes sense though, because like they take after like dancers from like the Arabic countries. What's it called?
Middle Eastern. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah,
kind of
so,
belly
like-
dancing and stuff.
Belly dancing, Middle Eastern kind of thing. So it's
The
like
Hollywood Middle East.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
Aladdin
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Aladdin style. Yeah, that's perfect. Like Aladdin themed. So like it makes sense for her to like dress up or like be designed that way, the way she is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and
but-
she's already like it's ready. She's a half genie. So like, and she's in like Scuttletown, which is like almost like a town that's from like an oasis or a desert, and they also have an oasis town in the game. So it's like it all fits in with the theme, so it naturally feels right,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like gratuitous. It just feels like,
Yeah, it's not like they're trying to like make a quick buck on like, oh look, character has boobs. ooh.
Sex Yeah. And I like Shantae's design with, she got the tiara and the wristbands, and she uses her hair as her main attack. She whips her hair because she's got her hair in a big ponytail, and her main attack is just from whipping her hair, which is fun. It's no punches and kicks. It's a little bit different, and she also has transformations too. It's not you play as Shantae, but as you progress through the game, each temple that you go to with one of the stones has a different transformation that you learn. And you do that by dancing. You transform into different animals. And that mechanic is pretty neat, too.
It's really fun doing the
Yeah.
dances for different animals.
Yeah, 'cause
I always enjoyed it.
There's a little
transforming.
thing on the bottom of the screen that's almost like a rhythm timer. And you have to press the buttons within rhythm of it as it ticks by.
it's like a metronome, basically. Like
Like a metronome, yeah. And each one makes like different sound effects. There's up, down, left, right, B, and A. And she does different moves based on what you press. And the dances are usually like just one or two combinations to do the transformations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like...
Unless you train or use like a warp spell, like which you can teleport from town to town. That's like 8 inputs.
Yeah, those ones are a little bit longer. But yeah, there's different transformations that you can transform into. Basically, when you're Shantae, you have a simple... You walk around, you can run... you can whip your hair. You can unlock other moves later in the game at the shop.
Yeah, the Watertown
but-
shop. Yeah.
Yeah. But you can also transform into a monkey, which gives you the ability to climb walls
Yep.
and
The best power-up.
jump pretty high. And you get to be an elephant, lets you smash through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get to be a spider that lets you climb specific walls.
Yep.
Very,
Yeah.
very specific walls.
Very, very specific walls. But that
Background
spider's not
walls.
as useless as you think. I'll tell you later once I realize it.
It's like
And-
background walls, basically. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, background walls. And the harpy, which is the best one because you just get to fly all over the place.
Yep.
That's
Harpy
just like-
form is a godsend for traveling back and forth between anywhere.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Once you get the harpy, you basically don't need anything else.
Yeah,
Go
once
on.
you get the harpy, you can just go around and get like all the collectibles because there are collectibles in the game. There's heart containers that increase your heart meter. There's fireflies. There's 12 of them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And,
It gives you-
and there's different power-ups for each animal transformation, talismans, I think.
Yep.
And those give you an attack for each one. So there's a monkey, an elephant, spider, and a harpy one.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like the talismans because I really wasn't expecting the game to give me those items. So like when I found them, I was just like, yes, I can stay in these transformations longer.
Yeah.
I won't have to.
Yeah.
I won't have to move switch back more to to attack things. I could just attack in
which
monkey.
is great. Yeah, attack as a monkey. Attacking as a harpy is powerful as hell. It like kills guys in like one hit.
Oh yeah, it's super powerful.
Attacking himself is also pretty powerful as well.
And the spider. Oh my god.
So overpowered.
Dude, the last boss when that
she got destroyed. I didn't even move.
Yeah, when I was the spider, all I did was just I demolished it.
Yeah. I felt so bad for her.
I know. I mean, man, if you didn't fight, but that's like, part of the reward, right? If you went to that last boss, it might be a little bit more challenging if you didn't go through and find everything.
I didn't have a single talisman.
Oh, well, shit, there you go.
Wow, you didn't? Holy shit.
Nope. Well, that's the thing. That's like, it's one of the only negative things about the game that I have to say is like traveling between towns and trying to find the dungeons was very annoying, and especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's mainly due to the enemy spawns. Like some of the enemies drop out of holes like little snakes or something.
Yeah.
And some enemies pop out of this grass field. But it gives you, sometimes they just spawn right on top of you and you have no reaction time and you get hit automatically. There's no way you can dodge it. And in the beginning it takes like a good 3 or 4 hits just to like kill an enemy. But the thing is, when you hit them, some enemies just keep moving forward, like even after you hit them. So like I have the little hit stun thing, and then they keep moving forward. But because you attack with your hair, you have to be like really close to them to hit them. So once you hit them once, they go and then they start walking, and before you're able to move out of the way, they hit you automatically again. So it's like really annoying and frustrating to fight enemies that are not in dungeons. Like extremely frustrating.
Yeah, the most egregious of that example were the snake ladies.
Snake ladies.
Yeah.
With the fucking homing sonic waves.
Yeah. Oh, that
fuck those enemies.
I completely agree with the attack range is really kind of lacking. It gets frustrating pretty quickly, which means like a lot of the time you don't want to deal with the enemies, you just want to run away. And there's no real point.
That's what was me the whole game. I was just avoiding them as much as I could.
There's no real point to fighting them.
Because it discouraged me. I didn't want, I wanted to explore in the beginning, but it was so annoying to stay and carefully fight these enemies, try to preserve my health, and if you die, go all the way back to the start. Like some enemies stay dead, but still, it's really annoying and frustrating to go repeat all that. And it's just I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to explore. I don't care. I just want to go to the dungeon. The dungeons were fun.
Sorry. I was about to say, and the nighttime version made things worse because all they did is
at nighttime they get twice their health, so it's even longer. It's like, oh great.
So, yeah, we didn't even mention that. I mean, the game has a day and night progression system. At nighttime, it's really the only difference other than visual. Where it turns dark is that the enemies just get stronger. That's really the only difference.
Pretty
also,
much.
you can only get the fireflies at night.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that you can only find fireflies at night. But again, I don't want to explore at night because it's even tougher enemies now. So I can't.
That's why you wait till you get the harpy, and I just flew around.
For sure, that's exactly what. As soon as I got the harpy, I basically got everything that I ever missed in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I just was like, wait, I'm going to wait until the end once I have all the power-ups, then I'm going to find everything. Once I did, it was a breeze, though.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I was only had a day left. I think it was the night before the recording here, so I was I want to beat this game so we don't break the streak, and I don't know what lies ahead, so I just kept pushing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't stop to try and collect stuff after I got the harpy for him.
The weird thing about I felt really weird once I got the harpy, I only had 5 hearts when I got the harpy. After I got the harpy, 30 minutes later, I had 10 hearts. I had every heart.
10 hearts? I only had 4 through the whole game. I only found 1 heart container.
Exactly. Wow. That's what I mean. After I got the harpy, everything else was super easy to find. In 30 minutes, I doubled my HP, and there are only 10 hearts in the game. So
I got crazy. 9 hearts, but the reason why I got it is I felt that was enough. I didn't need any more.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get everything.
I had 7 when I found the harpy, but then I found the last 3 really fast after I got the harpy. And I will say though about the enemies is I love the enemy designs.
Yeah,
the designs are awesome.
For sure.
So cool. There's a lot of variation in there too.
Way more than I expected.
Yeah, there's tons of variation, and they all have like their own unique animations, and they all attack
gimmicks, yeah.
differently.
I certainly
It's really cool.
the one highlight one in terms of any enemy design was like the scorpion enemies, where it's like you have one area where it's just male scorpions, and then you in the desert, and then there's another part of the desert where it's just female scorpions, which I found pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Yeah,
That was
and they
cool.
attack very differently.
Oh yeah,
They
definitely.
do. They attack very differently.
I like the
What?
the bog, the dark area with like those
Yeah.
sewage guys. Yeah,
Oh,
I really
those
like
are
those
cool.
guys. Yeah,
Those guys look awesome. I love the designs.
that whole environment was really really well designed.
hmm
It
There's
just
a
looks so
lot-
dark.
A lot of those designs carry over into the newer games too.
Yeah.
A lot of the enemies, and there's new ones too. But it's cool to see those enemies, those staples, kind of carry over with the game. I really like it a lot. Like I just was constantly surprised and charmed by. I love these enemy designs. Some of them I've seen because I've played the other games too. This game I had to. This is the only one I hadn't. Like I played it a little bit, but I never finished it. So I was like, damn, I really got to go back and finish this game. That's why I picked it, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard.
It was
yeah,
nice to see.
I think I heard like good things about the series from you and like from chat. So yeah, I bought this game like a while back, but then I never got to play it. I got stuck like early on, like in the first dungeon, because the game doesn't tell you how to run. I didn't know.
Yeah,
how
you
to,
have to do running jumps, and it doesn't really tell you how to run.
Yeah,
I didn't know I could run in this game until I was in the dungeon where you have to run over the gaps. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
Like
was
I
just like,
died
what
there
the
like
fuck?
15 times. I was like, okay, I don't want to play this game. But once I got to it, and once I got past that, this game really opens up. It gets really a lot better.
Yeah, it definitely does. And running around makes the controls and getting around a lot smoother than just walking.
Unfortunately, like I kind of like it when games do this, where like you have to learn yourself what to do, like figure things out on your own. But it didn't really give any hints or anything of like half the stuff that you can do in this game in general.
Right.
Like I accidentally found out I can actually talk to people that are walking by in the town.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think like I pointed it out. I was like, this game was released in 2002 on Game Boy Color, back in the day when they used to give you an instruction book that would have told you this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in-game tutorials aren't built into the games like they are nowadays.
Right.
They expected at the time you'd get the instruction book, you'd flip through it, and it'd say, "While you're in the town, press B to talk to town folks." It would say that in there. So it's kind of shitty, but also you can't really knock it too hard for it because they expected you to have that with you when they designed the game.
Yeah.
But they did have a few instances where, like say in some of the boss fights, they had like in the background there were images of like the monkey, so it was giving you a clue that you should use the monkey form to do something.
Oh really? I didn't even.
Yeah,
notice
like
that.
in the first boss, or the boss that raises the water for its attack.
Yeah.
It's like you transform into the monkey to climb the wall so you can avoid that attack. But it has like a little picture of a monkey in the background. Like they could have done things like that too, like they did for the boss fights. They could have done
I did like
little
the
things
boss.
like that.
I did the boss fights. None of them were really that hard.
No.
They're kind of
This,
fun.
the one with the I think it was the second one with the elephant form.
Yeah.
That was the easiest for me.
Yeah.
Like I literally just jumped on his hand and just mashed the charge button. It was just like dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really the toughest thing about it is just figuring out what their weakness is and then just doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you
Pretty
figure
much.
out
Once
their
you know how to like actually damage him, that's it. You basically won.
Pretty
pretty
much.
simple. But they were cool though. The designs were neat. There was a little dragon tamer guy too. He was
Oh, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then risky. Before you fight her, you have to kind of do like go inside of this giant golem, the steam engine thing,
Yeah.
which is neat.
Risky fight itself was pretty long, but that was because I was attacking her with the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really easy. with the
You missed
spider,
out.
too.
You missed out.
Well, I mean, I got to see all her attack animations and shit. So
Yeah.
I got to see her die really fast.
I will say, out of all the enemies in the game, my biggest enemy that I hated the most so fucking much, and this has really pissed me off a few times, is fucking spikes.
Oh,
Goddamn
God.
spikes.
Oh yeah.
Because they're Mega Man ass spikes because they kill you instantly.
Yeah, I don't understand why they made this decision. It's like it's way too harsh for no reason.
It should have damaged you. You should have got damaged by the spikes. The fact that they just are an instant kill, especially in I think it was like the last dungeon where you get the harpy.
Yeah,
There was so many stupid fucking parts in that dungeon where I'd accidentally touch a spike.
and the spider one too. The third dungeon with those moving platforms. Yeah.
God, I was getting so mad. There was a couple times where I was like, come on. You get game over and you start the whole dungeon because all the enemies respawn. Like, I do like when you get game over, you keep all your items that you got, money and stuff.
That was nice, yeah.
But the fact that you have to go and kill all the enemies and everything, well, they'll all respawn after you die, and it's like, come on. Especially after cheap deaths with just like
Fucking
stupid
spikes.
Just 'cause of spikes.
Fucking spikes.
That was so frustrating to me. That was my biggest enemy in that whole game, was the damn spikes.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time.
That was awful.
Those were the scariest for sure. That's why the harpy's the best.
Hey.
Harpy was the best. Yeah, I mean, even with the harpy, there was like a part where you had to like kind of fly through this room that had like
Spikes on the ceiling?
the ceiling and the bottom. Yeah, spikes all over the place, and I was like, oh, I died like twice trying to get through that room, and I was like, come on. Oh, that was the worst.
I also really like the design of the dungeons. Like, I thought the second dungeon was really cool.
I like that too a lot with the color mechanic.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it was really, really good.
Yeah, none of the puzzles were that hard to figure out, but they were still well done.
Yeah, they felt intuitive. Like, they were well designed, but not frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, you felt like you were accomplishing something, but you weren't banging your head against the wall, which is always, like, the right way to make a game.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I mean, I feel like even though once I get to the last dungeon, though, they had these puzzles with sliding blocks, almost like pictures that you just rotate the pictures. They were so stupidly easy. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
This should have been in like the first dungeon. I had more trouble with the guys where you had to knock their eyeballs in.
Oh, I didn't like that one. Yeah, that one was tough. That one was tough
Because you had to have them looking at like there was like at first it was just get the eyeball in there, and it eventually turned into they have to like there's one guy with like he has the thing like above him that's gonna fall, so he has to be looking up at it, or there's like a girl statue on each side of the room, so his eyes have to be like looking in each like the opposite direction kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was more of a puzzle than there's just the sliding blocks. And there was also puzzles with like you would have to see this pattern. I think it was in the first dungeon, and this was better than this fourth dungeon too, where you'd come up to it and there's just these.
The fish,
like
octopus, or
fish, octopus.
shell.
It was like a column, and you hit with your hair, and it would spin. But you'd have to remember from the picture you saw earlier what order it was in. That was even a better puzzle. I was on like the last dungeon, and I'm like, this is the worst puzzle I've seen so far in the game. It's so obvious, like how to make the picture. It's four. All of them were just four.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mind it. It wasn't like.
Yeah, I mean, I was just more disappointed than anything, just because it wasn't a challenge, and I was hoping for more of a challenge by the end of the game. Like, I felt that should have been a puzzle in the first dungeon. I don't know if maybe they ran out of ideas. I don't know, but it just felt like, oh, this is it. Here's the last kind of challenge they're throwing my way, and it's wicked easy.
Yeah. You know what I really liked about the game was the distinct themes of each town. Like, I thought those are super cool. Like,
Yeah.
at first you just have like kind of regular, like standard town. Scuttle Town's your regular town. Then you have Water Town. It's basically looks like Greek columns all over the place. There's water. There's water, obviously. There's Oasis Town. It's kind of like a desert. Kind of Arabian-ish themed. And then you have Zombie Caravan. It's just like...
Zombie Caravan is the best, and Roddy Tops is the best girl.
that racing fucking segment.
Oh,
yeah, that was
but
tough.
It's like you have no room for error.
Yeah, that was really tough. I wasn't expecting that to be so hard.
Yeah, I love it though. I love Roddy Top. She's my favorite in all the Shantae games. Absolutely.
I hated her after the racing stuff. It's like, why are you making me do this? I don't want.
It only took me a couple tries. It wasn't that hard. There's no penalty for losing. So
There was no penalty, but it took me like
Yeah.
it took me like 6 tries to actually get it. 6, 7. Right about.
Yeah.
It's but,
And some
yeah,
of the NPCs
was,
of the zombie caravan town were pretty funny.
They are funny,
Yeah.
yeah. The NPCs say some stuff. There's some pervs in there too. I noticed.
Yeah, so it was zombie caravan, which moved around. So like, if you got the warp spell for zombie caravan, like you don't know where the hell you're gonna end up.
Yeah, that confused the shit out of me the first time I noticed it because I went.
You can only
there,
go
and then
there
I
at
went
nighttime
left.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I went left, and I was like, "Wait, where the hell am I?" I'm like, "This isn't where this was." I was so confused.
I think
Yeah.
one of the townspeople says it as well. It's like it moves around at night, and you can only get it.
Right, yeah.
You can only get there at nighttime. So I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't like that gimmick because I only been there once and I could never find it again.
That was like one of the first places I got the warp squids for.
It's a good call.
I was just like, you know what? I don't want to find this place again. I'll just warp to it.
Really good call.
And then Bandit Town was the other one, which was pretty cool too.
Bandit Town with all the bad guys were hanging out. There's
Yeah.
even a bar that just has like enemies hanging out in there.
Yeah.
I put it on Oasis town because I was like, fuck getting through that desert with the snake ladies.
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense too.
Yeah, and you have to go back there at the end of the game to get to the end game too.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate. Good thing I made that warp squid spell there. But
Yeah.
by the way, the warp squids you get in dungeons, you have to collect these at least 4 to activate a warp point that you can warp
Yeah.
to at any point in the game.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
five.
there's 5 in
town.
each
Yeah,
dungeon.
there's 5 in each dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
You
weird
essentially
because
need 4 to activate one in the town.
yeah.
yeah, it's a little weird that you can give any squid to any of the squid moms.
I'm glad it did it that way because the first dungeon I only got like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
The second one I was able to get a couple more, so I was like, oh, good thing I have to like search every nook and cranny to get like every squid for the specific town.
but I mean, if you think about it for a second, isn't it kind of fucked up? Like, I don't
I
even
mean,
know.
it is, but
I had flashbacks to the Link Between Worlds because there was a moment where it's like there's a squid mom in that game where she loses 100 of her squid children. It's like you're like the worst parent.
Oh yeah.
They just give me flashbacks to that. It's like, oh my god, these squid. What is up with squid and being terrible parents? They're just awful. Just
It's a Japanese conspiracy. They're trying to convince us it's right to eat them.
yeah.
They're terrible parents.
They don't deserve
I
children.
will say though, I do like the supporting cast of characters too that are in the game. We mentioned Roddy Tops, but there's also each character is there to unlock the temple for Shantae.
Yeah.
And first you got Bolo, who is Shantae's friend from
Watertown.
Scuttletown.
Watertown.
Well, I don't know if he lives there but she mentions that she's friends with him, right? And but he's a kind of he's like in love with Risky Boots.
Yeah.
He's all about her, like, oh man, did you see that outfit? Oh man, is getting all obsessed with her, and she's like, she's a bad guy, dude. What the hell's wrong with you? Which is funny. And then you have Sky, who she's a bird tamer, and she sends the bird out to help you unlock the thing. And you got Roddy Tops, and eventually you have another genie, who turns out to not be a genie. Spoiler alert.
Wow. I believe you've reached.
I like how Sky's bird is named Wrench, and he basically just wrenches the thing open.
yeah,
It's so dumb.
it's clever.
So yeah.
That's Shantae. Good game.
Yeah.
Good game. I liked it. I'm glad
That was
that
fun,
I got
yeah.
a chance to go back and play it.
I thought
So
just one last thing I wanted to say. I thought that the fact that you transform into a harpy is really weird. Like
the harpy.
yeah. Like because you transform into a monkey and an elephant and a spider, but they're just monkeys, elephants, and spiders.
They're
not
animals.
like you're not like a woman elephant or a woman spider. You know what I mean?
Well, they have like the elephant kind of, I think, has like eyelashes.
Yeah,
a little
but
bit.
you're still just an elephant.
Yeah.
But when you're a
Yeah.
why didn't you just turn into a bird? Why did you turn into a
Yeah.
harpy? I was just
Well,
like,
they wanted an excuse to
harpies
make
are
a
cool,
woman, another woman figure in the game.
yeah, I mean,
Because a lot of the enemies are like women.
I mean, yeah, but like the origin of the harpy is like it's a mythological creature. It's like half bird, half person. So it's
Yeah,
like,
so it doesn't
is kinda
make
weird. I can
sense.
see where you're coming from.
yeah, it didn't really fit with the other ones to
Yeah.
me. But
yeah.
On the,
I was a fan.
I really love the harpy transformation though. Like it's gorgeous. It's one of the best ones. Mm-hmm. That and the monkey one are my favorite transformations.
Yeah, the monkey's just fucking adorable.
Yeah, he is.
The only thing I didn't like about the harpy is that you don't run with the harpy because you can't control when it stops.
It just runs really fucking fast. Like
It just runs like a chicken. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the last thing.
All right. Well, final thoughts, gentlemen. Would you recommend Shantae to somebody else? Since I picked this game, I will start first. And I'm going to say yes, definitely. I definitely would. I would not recommend buying an actual copy of this game because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Go buy it on the 3DS Virtual Console. It's a lot cheaper. Unless you really, really want a copy of it. But just let you know, you're going to be spending a couple $100 at least, probably just for a loose version, if that. So definitely give this game a try. 3DS Virtual Console. Hopefully it'll get re-released some other point. You know, this is the only other re-release it's ever had. But definitely worth it. I would say go check it out. It's a fun game. Noah.
Definitely, yeah. Play it. It's if you ever get the chance to just play it. It's very, very charming and really fun.
Ills?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I really like this game. The only thing, don't get frustrated too early on because you might not play it, and it's a game worth playing. So I'm glad I got to play it all the way.
Saf?
Oh yeah, no, I'd recommend it. Definitely, it's a very charming game, and even though I feel so like the nighttime, the night mechanic didn't have to be there. Despite that, it's still a pretty fun game, and it's still quite enjoyable to go through. And I would definitely recommend people pick up and try and have fun with it.
Saf, I just want to say welcome back, by the way.
Oh, yeah, thank you, thank you. I missed
glad
this place
you're back
too.
here out in the game club.
You took Will's place.
Yeah,
Will's spot. You killed him.
I took his hands so that I can be here with you guys.
Good
Chopped
job.
his hands off.
Yep.
We were tired of Will anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, good riddance.
So,
And once again, we keep the streak going, boys.
streak is still alive, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what are we on now? I haven't even updated
9.
it.
9,
We're
I
on
think.
9. 9 in a row, fellas. That's good. That's impressive. We beat 9 games in a row, every single one of us.
Good job.
Man, we're doing it. That's what I like to see. You know what else I like to see?
What do you like to see?
The list!
The list!
List.
If you want to follow along with the list, make sure you check the paste bin down below in the description.
What a
Yeah,
good guy.
remember.
What a good
I
See,
guy.
if Will was here, he would have forgotten it.
If Will was here, I definitely would have forgot. Streak, I did it. The meme's dead. You remember now.
I think it's time for you to become the host of the regular.
Podcast.
I'm taking over. Look out, Will. So, if you don't know anything about the list, we rank video games. And it's time to rank Shantae. And I'm looking at the list right now.
For sure.
And since I picked Shantae, I'm going to find a home for it. And we're going to decide where it officially goes. But, every time you look at the list, man, it's tough. There's some tough... It's tough competition.
Yeah. Start from the bottom, work your way up. That's usually how you should do.
Best way to do it. Man,
Let me just say something real fast. I thought this game felt a lot like the game we played last time, Demon's Crest. In some ways.
A little bit.
I was thinking, around that area might be good.
Where did we put them in Crest? 43.
around that area seems pretty fair.
Yeah.
It does. It seems pretty fair.
Seems like a
That's
legit place to
actually
be.
like starting from the bottom. That's well, I actually started from the top, and then kind of moved my way down that way. But that's kind of where my eyes stopped. Was around that. I was like, okay, this seems about right. Somewhere in the 40s.
I wouldn't put it above
Maybe-
3D Land or Scott Pilgrim. I wouldn't.
Well, you guys have been
Land.
playing Stardew Valley recently, so what would you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of.
Stardew Valley is like, I mean, I like Stardew Valley, so I don't have like strong affiliations with Stardew Valley though. Like I think Will does, but Will's not here, so it doesn't really matter.
So fuck them.
I don't know if I want to put it above Demon's Crest though, or maybe even Castlevania Bloodlines. It's like because Ills mentions like it's a little bit similar to Demon's Crest. It's like this game, what it has going for it, Shantae, is like very charming. It has like it looks really good for like the system it's on, and it's pretty fun. The transformations are fun, like interesting mechanics, but the fighting enemies is frustrating and like not fun until you get like overpowered moves. But in order to get there, you need to explore and like force yourself to those environments. So, whereas the Demon's Crest, it was a lot more satisfying, like challenge. Like there was more challenge, except for maybe like the last boss. But it was more fun, like exploring and the environments, trying to find the secrets and the secret items than it was in the Shantae. So I feel like that has over. Plus, it does have its own like theme and style. It's like it goes for the horror monsters. Like it has amazing sprite work, like Shantae does. So like, there's actually a pretty fair comparison.
Yeah, it's a really good comparison actually. Like the transformations,
Yeah.
The transformations have different forms, different abilities, different
I think was
mechanics.
handled better in Shantae, and they were more useful.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
they were
more impactful for sure.
Yeah.
Like they actually mattered. A lot of things in this thing.
And the ones in Demon Crest, they mattered until you got the next one and then the next one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shantae ones you would be switching back and forth, kind of. And I liked how the last area leading up to Risky made you use, like, all of them.
Yeah.
some
That
way,
was
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Like, you had to use the, you had to use the elephant to smash through those pillars that kept the guys kept coming up there. And then you have to use the monkey to get over specific things. And then you use the spider to kill Risky Boots.
Kill everyone.
And isn't what a final level is supposed to do? Like challenge your abilities or challenge your skills with different abilities. Like that's what you expect them to do. So
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Demon Crest, but from what you've told me, I feel still like from the things that you've just described to me, I feel still like Shantae does this stuff that you expect Demon Crest to do better.
Well, that's the thing. Demon's Crest did the combat and like fighting enemies a lot more satisfying than Shantae did.
Demon's Crest, they're both good. I mean, Demon's Crest also had frustrating issues too.
It did. But like the main point for you was like it encouraged you and it felt like fun finding the secrets in the levels and like the multipathing within the stages. Whereas Shantae was just like the enemies are too frustrating, you just want to skip over it.
But I found myself skipping over enemies when I went back to levels in Demon's Crest too.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just running right past them.
But I guess in Shantae, it feels better to skip over them. Like,
It does.
like you just want to get they're just kind of in the way sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just too much effort to actually fight them. So it's just like,
I just wish the attack range was like a little bit better.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, please.
yeah, and like the moves that you actually buy in the shops, like the skills, like I got like a couple of them, like the upward kick. Like they're not that much more powerful, and they actually some of them are like really even closer range than their hair, so they're really useless.
Well,
Unlike half the
talismans
items
are
in the
way
game is
better.
pretty useless too.
Yeah.
their talismans are way better. See, unfortunately for you, Noah, you never got any of the talismans. I tell
Well, I
you.
would look for them if it fucking wasn't annoying as fuck to explore the
Well,
levels.
once you get the harpy, it's not that hard.
Well, yeah. By the time I'm already over with the game, though.
Once you get the harpy, it's like super easy to get the spider talisman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would
Once you
have
get the
to know
spider
where it
talisman,
is.
the game's over.
The spider talisman is OP. It gives you a long range attack and it's powerful as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes
So,
the
yeah,
combat more fun.
I think I would put it. I don't know. Either right. Damn. The thing is, I don't want to split up Demon's Crest and Castlevania Bloodlines because they feel like they go so well.
That's why I was thinking of putting it below Bloodlines, but that's me.
I think I'd put it above Demon's Crest, personally.
Yeah, I think I'd put it above Demon's Crest.
That's fine then.
All right, there you go.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go with the majority because I haven't actually. Well, you know the
So
reason.
you hadn't played
Yeah.
Demon's Crest? Alright. And I don't know if I'd put it above Stardew.
Stardew's a hard
Stardew,
one because it's like a complete
very, very good. I think it's good at number 43.
42. Oh, sorry, you mean
40? No, it'd be 43.
I thought you were still referring to Stardew. My bad.
No. Shantae. Shantae would be good at number 43. All right. So I think we're in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Shantae, number 43 on the list.
Yep.
The list, if you're looking at it, has 77 games on it now. So right in the middle of the pack.
Shit,
There's
we're getting close.
very, very good. Yes, once we get to 100, re-rank, it's coming. It's gonna be crazy.
Yep.
But around it right now, let me tell you what we're facing here. We got number 41, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game. It's a great game, by the way. Number 42.
But you can never play it again.
You can't. I can play it again if I want.
Okay, only you.
Me. Number 43, Shantae. Number 44, Demon's Crest, also another Game Club game. Actually, the last Game Club game we played. Was it, right? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Was it? It was. Jesus Christ, man. I don't remember shit. I'm getting old. Number 45, Castlevania Bloodlines. We mentioned that a little bit. That's also a Game Club game. So, a couple episodes. If you haven't heard them, go listen.
Yeah.
Because those were pretty good games too. That's why they're this high on the list. So, Shantae, it's in a good spot.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like it sounds like it's not really that high because it's like 43. It's like 43, but it's like there's 70 games on this list. That's a pretty good fucking spot.
And above it are a bunch of killers. So,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, definitely are. You know, I mean, it's expected, but just some of the best games of all time are above it. So this is a very good game. We all recommend it. Go check it out if you haven't yet. That's going to take us to the end of the episode, but before we go, though, I got a couple of things that I just want to shout out. We are on social media at Jump Up Supercast. Just about everything you can find us on is at the handle Jump Up Supercast. All one word. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. On Twitter and Facebook, we post the new episodes every time they go up. Instagram, I'll just post random shit there. So go give us a follow. Sometimes you'll see the next game we're playing for the Game Club before we play it. Speaking of playing games, we do have a Twitch. Haven't been active on there as active as we were. Hopefully soon we'll be starting to play some more games on there. So just give us a follow. That way you can find us playing video games. Come talk to us. Hang out, have a good time, and turn notifications on so you know. Also, subscribe to us on SoundCloud or iTunes, whatever you listen to us on. Just make sure you give us a follow and 5-star, rate it, whatever. Just do it because you love your mom and she loves the Jump Up Supercast, so it just kind of goes together. If you don't love your mom, there's somebody out there that loves you that also loves the Jump Up Supercast, so do it up. Thank you guys, though, for joining us. But before we leave, we're going to play another video game because that's what we do here on the Game Club. And Saf, you've been gone for a while.
Yes, I have.
But it's your turn, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
It's your turn.
So
what are we going to be playing?
we're going to be playing One Finger Death Punch. It is a beat-em-up game, but the mechanics of that game is the mechanics of a rhythm game. So that's going to be a very, very interesting game. Just so.
Definitely haven't played a rhythm beat 'em up game, so it should be
I
fun.
haven't either.
Actually,
I've never played this game, so
Actually, was Krypton a Necro Dancer rhythm?
I think it's a rogue.
No, it's not beat 'em
It's a
up. It's a
rhythm.
dungeon crawler. Never mind.
Yes, roguelike,
Yeah.
I believe.
yeah. But yeah, okay. One Finger Death Punch. I'm glad you got the name of that game right. 'Cause
So easily confused.
but yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm interested in playing it. Check that out a little bit. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, Ills. Thank you, Saf. Thank you, Noah, for joining me again. Thank you for beating the game. Thanks for playing Shantae. It was fun. Everybody out there, thanks for listening. Go play some video games and just be nice.